Greetings and welcome to episode 29 of my Empire Total War Darth mod Knights of St. John campaign. And this, my friends, was the last time where we really have drawn in the ire here of the Marathan Confederacy. And just before I begin, my friends, in earnest, the reason why I've brought this particular campaign forward is because there's been a huge request for this campaign to be brought forward much earlier than normally would be, but fear not, the other campaigns have not been put on the back burner. They're just going to extend them out a little bit longer, but there will probably be additional episodes just to make sure that everything is covered and we get those additional episodes to sort of make up for the delay in the other campaigns. It's been a large call for this campaign to come back, and of course I am always willing to do that, my friends, if the council requests it. Also, thank you for the wonderful support and feedback on the Western Roman Empire campaign as well. That was sort of the prelude episode that was put up some wonderful advice and plans and proposals there, which I'm going to probably look at. I'm going to start to make notes on it, or have me start to make notes upon it to sort of really kick off that campaign in earnest, if possible, probably in a week's time, maybe a bit longer, just so I can gather as much resources as I possibly can in the council. But I'd like to thank all of you for your wonderful support in that. It's been absolutely fantastic, the response to that. Absolutely wonderful to see that. I can't wait to get that campaign going. But my friends, back to here and now, and as you can see, we've been attacked again by the Marathan Confederacy. They've brought a sizable army, but once you actually look down at the minutiae of what they've actually brought with them an army that's been severely mauled over time here. They've quite clearly haven't had the resources or the facilities to really replenish these armies. You can see a lot of them have got the sort of tattered and cut flags here, which means they haven't been able to bring them up to full strength here. So whilst even at the full strength they didn't have the quality that we're able to field, they do have the quantity. They have a massive amount of troops they can bring into us. And the council was concerned that as they keep sending more and more troops to try and take Mysore, we might start to struggle here. So we want to do as much damage as we possibly can to these forces with as little losses as possible. Now, of course, that isn't always impossible, because there are things out of your control. But if we can just keep this army here in good shape here, the chances are we can either strike Goa, Hyderabad, or further down there in Bengal here. Bengal was taken by the Mughal Empire, but for some reason they had to evacuate. I think there was a counter-attack by the Marathans, which removed them from the city. Now, that city would be an absolute crown jewels. It really would be the crowning jewel of in sort of India for us, in terms of the port facilities. The facilities in the city itself would be an absolute wonder. Of course, we've sort of thrust ourselves within this sort of civil war here, which has been an absolute brute. And because we don't have the facilities and the income to sort of mass produce armies, we have to attack, then stop, replenish, gather our strength, and sort of hit an area specifically, almost like a surgical strike. So we can't hit everywhere at once. It has to be a specific location, and we have to build towards that attack. I know that many of the council are calling for us to really speed up things, but it's just not possible. And as you can see, even though we are better armed and better equipped, the sheer number of forces they have at the moment, until we can whittle down these forces and sort of start seeing off some of these major cities, particularly Hyderabad. If we take Hyderabad, that would be absolutely fantastic. But the context is the Mughal Empire has actually refound its form again. It's found its sort of strength, its courage again. It's actually started to strike down into some of these areas now that are controlled by the Marathans. That's going to help us innumerably, it really is. But my friends, without further delay, let's begin here the attack upon these fiends that have decided to siege the city here. We will bring them to justice, I can assure you. They won't get away with this. Can we take limited casualties here? That's the absolute key here. Will this free us up? Because it looks like we've got another army moving in straight away here, so we might have to take force units out and feed in those new forces that you can see there that are sort of standing there. That sort of small task force. You might have to put in units in to sort of compensate for any losses. Hopefully it won't come to that. Look at that. So, and as you can see, look, the brutality of the battles, as you can see, was already played out here. I mean, look at that. They've taken an absolute hammering here. Now, of course, we are assaulting, so this fort is not in the best of shape here. But what we will do, I think we'll leave the cannons in here, because you can see they can indeed wrap right the way around here. So we might start ourselves within the fort and see if they actually come upon us. They're coming from this direction here. I mean, look at the size of the city there in the distance. That is the size of it, my friends. It is Mysore is huge. But I think what we'll do is we'll gather the forces we've got here, even within the shattered remnants here of what we have left here. This, I mean, look at this. That is the scale of the fighting for the city. They've thrown absolutely everything at it, and we've thrown absolutely everything at it to defend it. So what we are going to do is we're going to set ourselves the task of hopefully drawing the attackers upon the defences here. But of course, being alive to the fact that there are gaping holes within the defences here. We've got Sean McHale here, and the prime generals here, and the chief defender of Mysore. We do have a lot of cuirassiers, which is excellent for us. Look at that there. I mean, that is an absolute treat to see. Look at that. Royal Khyber Infantry Guards, absolutely fantastic forces. Let's get all of these colonial infantry into position here on the parade ground, so we at least know what we're up against here and what we have, what resources we have available all the way down here. Look at that. Company infantry. My goodness me, the smoke from these forces, from these walls here is hanging and clinging low to the sky. So, and there's also rain, and I believe in the distance we can hear the thunder there as well. So it's quite a murky, damp, dank day. '46th Regiment as well. Push these back to here. We've got the cavalry here, cuirassiers, and Regiment of Horse. What we'll do, we'll just put these here, using the walls here to shield them. Likewise, we've got the 4th Foot Guards. We'll do the same here for these 2 regiments of cuirassiers. We'll just put them here, using the walls here just to shield them from the gaze of the Marathans. Now let's put these gentlemen on the walls of what is left of them. Of course, we also have to defend these breaches within the walls quite heavily as well, but I think we'll use the 41st up here. I mean, the architecture on these is just absolutely a joy to see. Look at that, sir. And likewise, we'll use the 40th Regiment, its sister regiment here, to align the walls here. We'll use the 43rd Regiment, likewise along the walls here. We will, of course, and we can, of course. No, gentlemen, please. Thank you. We can, of course. Oh, look at that! That wall is absolutely being thrashed to pieces there. We can, of course, bring a significant additional number of troops to bear if needs be along the walls. We do need to have a force, I believe, that's ready to strike outwards against them. Let's use the 38th along here as well. Let's just make sure we got a gentleman. That's why. Then in that case we will use a smaller regiment to hold this particular flank here. Thus. Now we probably want regiments to be able to hold these gaps in the walls here. We'll use the 30th, no actually we'll use the 39th Regiment here, just in case. Better be prepared than being caught on the hop. We'll use the 44th as well here. Let's just compact this down a little bit here, because of course we're defending a much smaller gap, so we don't need all the forces like that. Now we do have the ability to strike out against the Marathans if we can. We can use these 3 regiments here to do so. 46th, 45th and indeed 42nd. So we'll pull these gentlemen out to this here. We've got some reserves here which of course we might need, so we'll hold these gentlemen back. They don't have cannon, which is in our favour. What we'll do is we'll just hold these in reserve. Actually, we'll just push this 38th Regiment into the strike force here. because we are going to move on. We're going to be on the attack here, so it looks like we're going to have to move against them, but we're going to just cover our backs in case. That is unlimber. We should of course put these in their own separate groupings. Let's just move these gentlemen back here a little bit. The general. Now, let's begin. Oh, this is going to be an absolute. Now, where have they got their forces? We've got. Like a shot, gentlemen. Here they come. They're going to come for us massively here. We've got to strike one of the flanks here. Let's start moving out. We can move along the flanks. And indeed here. So we can catch some of their forces on the march here. Oh my goodness me, that's an absolute bloodbath, sir. Double time, gentlemen, double time. We've got to break one of these flanks here. We're going to move along this flank here and try and catch them here on the move. Well, I'll be damned. Time, gentlemen. Yeah, they're coming. Yeah. That's more like it, lads. They're shattered. Let's bring them down. Camel mercenaries. We've got to break this. We've got to break them here. They've got me shattered. My goodness me, they've come for us in a huge way here. There it is, we knew they would be coming through here. Got to roll these forces up here. Actually, most of the fighting is taking place around here, so we're going to move these forces around here to cover that. I'm not going to move these forces here, but look at this. This is being absolute boom here, sir. Got to shatter as many as we can here. lads. Oh, this is an absolute joy to see. So we've absolutely smashed this army to pieces here. All they've got left here is the swordsman. They're shattered. Right. Out of square, gentlemen, out of square. I think up here we've absolutely obliterated this army before it even got within touching distance of the city almost. They've just completely shattered. They just don't have anything about them anymore. Get those musketeers. We have to get those musketeers. Show them the Order's true strength, sir. All these forces have worked an absolute treat. Got to destroy as many of these forces as we possibly can. We've done it, my friends. We've absolutely smashed that army in there. We lost 210 men. They lost almost everything. What a fight that was. Look at the number of kills here, but the cuirassiers. The cavalry did a wonderful job there. And they're thrown back. That's exactly what we want to see. We want to break as many of these forces as we can here. 2,818, 16,000 coming in. That's even more than I was imagining. 1,421, which is excellent. This army wasn't brought into the fight. What we'll do is just bring this army back here. We do have, but as you can see, look at this here on this hill here. What a defensive formation that would be upon Hyderabad there. As you can see, the Mughals have managed to force themselves into a much more, shall we say, easier position from which to attack from. Nagpur has fallen, but look at that. The Spanish have got Abanaga here. For some reason, they gave Abanaga here to stop the Mughals from able to moving into Bijapur, which is actually quite a smart move, but only we could take this city here. But if we take this city here, we're going to lose Katak. That's going to be the problem. But Calcutta, Bengal is going to be a much larger prize for us. I think the council did say we'll actually stop that there. The council did say that losing this here will actually stop this as well here. If we are going to move in here and take Calcutta, which is going to be far more beneficial to us, I think the council did recommend we actually break off and lose Katak and actually take Bengal, because this is going to look at all the resources we would have here. I know we'd lose these mines here, but we could, once we've taken this here, we can actually probably move back in the future and retake it. So we're actually going to, what we're going to do is we're going to take Calcutta here. Oh, look at those there, look at those mortars. What we'll do, we will siege here 6 turns, so they've got quite a considerable force here. So that means, oh, actually we're replenishing here, which is good to see. Now we can replenish all of them. It's going to take a while here, but that should take a number of years to allow at least those troops to get back up to where they need to be. we need to take Calcutta as quickly as possible.
Insediamento sotto assedio.
I know our forces are looking a little bit worse for wear, to say the
Assedio in corso.
least. But if we could take Calcutta, that would be an absolute boon, sir. Now, how are we doing here? We've got the war galleons here, well, naval recruitment, not of the finest. We do have the Dutch here, of course, we're at peace with the Dutch. Nothing here. We've sealed off all the Marathan trade ports here. They have hit this Mangalore here. But if we could take Goa, and indeed if we could take Bijapur, but are they still at war with the Marathans? That's the key. Yes, indeed, sir. Minus 267. Now, Great Britain does not like us at all, but that has reduced. Neither does Poland. That's a big problem for us as well. Our trade income is vast here. Tunis is actually upgrading here. We do need to get this Army Staff College. That'll give us guards, Royal Cairo infantry with echelon as well. African infantry guards, but this will be the guards here. Those units will be key. Because ultimately, this is Spain, we're allied with New Spain, but they've done nothing with Tripoli at all, which is a shame, really. Now, how is our research doing here? We do have research facilities ongoing here. We do have a good amount of research, but a lot of our enemies, and indeed our allies, do have much, much better research than ourselves. We are trying to get quicklime, I believe, here. Yes, indeed. Now we are allied with the Ottomans, who have managed to stabilise their own front, but they are being pushed hard by the Russians and indeed by the Poles. As you can see, Poland is huge here, but the Dutch are equally as vast. Now, how are the Dutch doing here? They're hostile towards us. That's absolutely fine, but are they at war with Poland? They are still at war with Poland, which is good to see. At least Poland will keep them pinned down here, but they do have the sort of all of Italy here, and the boot of Italy indeed here. They are very, very near to Malta. I mean, that's why we're trying to keep us a significant fleet here, but one that doesn't really count for much. So we're definitely going to have to keep our Indian trade routes open. Also, we're going to have to convert some of these to shipyards, which we can't. Look at that. We've got 2 more war galleons actually in production. So we've got our war galleon is our best ship at the moment. If we could just take Calcutta, what a boon that would be. 15,937 there, which is not too bad at all. I mean, look at this Treasury Minister. He's one of the finest we've ever had. Tax levels are reasonable. Trade is booming at the moment, apart from here. Look at the ivory here. We've got a huge trade fleet. Rembrandt de Groot. What a wonderful name. Let's end the turn here, my friends. Actually, take 16 turns there. That is huge. Get platoon firing. Let's end the turn. Let's see what happens, my friends. What will the Marathans do? Will they try and take Katak back off us? Spain, who have been quiet of late, but I think they've got their own troubles, their own problems to deal with. Spain, they have been hampered by the sheer power of Holland at the moment. The Dutch are huge, powerful force. But look at Russia. I mean, look at the Russian expansion. It has been absolutely huge. They just don't. The only place area they don't control is Sweden, which is Sweden is holding on for grim death. But the Ottomans themselves have come under a tremendous amount of pressure from the Russians. But they are still holding strong here, which is good to see. They are a staunch ally of ours. Russia itself, which has just expanded exponentially here, it really has grown massively. Look at that. They're stretching all the way, indeed, into the subcontinent itself. Such is their reach. We have to be wary of the Russians. They are peace with us, but that doesn't mean they're their territorial ambitions wouldn't stretch to India itself. Sweden raiding. Right, looks like they came out. Will these come now? As you can see, we don't have the best defense here at the moment. Actually, we are probably attacking wasn't the finest idea. We should have stayed in Calcutta until we had these out. So we're gonna have to take this fight. They could, my goodness me, they've got a lot of forces here. We have to rely on our cannon to do a lot of work here. We are gonna have to really do a lot of work here to keep this under control. If they bring these mortars, we are in trouble. Right, let's see if we can take the city on the bare minimum. We don't want to lose. We've got 940. We've got 940 men. That might have been a foolish move there on my part. A very foolish move. Right, let's take this fight. Got to rely heavily on our fire support to bring this under control. And if we can take the city, we can then replenish here and repair. But it's going to take a long time for that to happen. Oh my goodness me, we are absolutely up against it here. That was a foolish move of mine. I should have waited until these forces were replenished and then moved against Calcutta. That was an error on my part. So we're going to have to really dig in here. I think what we'll do is we'll use the high ground we have here to our advantage. Oh, wait a minute, look at this up here. I do beg your pardon. I think we'll use this up here. Oh yeah, this is a perfect defensive position. Look at this. It's absolutely fantastic. Right, we've got the 47th Regiment, I believe is our largest regiment indeed. So we'll put this regiment here. Then we'll have the 51st Regiment stretching across here. 49th Regiment here. Oh my goodness me, that is a dire to say. Wait a minute. Got 104. Got 144 men here. Then we're going to use the gentleman here, the 49th Regiment here. Oh my gosh, that is a pittance of a force. It really is. We're going to have to use everything we've got at our disposal here. We've got 69 men here. 162 men there. We've got 69 men here. We're going to have to use these cannons to their maximum here, so we're going to have to have these two, and then but here we've got carcass shot. We've got these artillery, foot artillery here. Thank you, gentlemen. Look lively. It's more like it. Now we've got cavalry, but again, we can't use these gentlemen out in the field. We've got our general here. So we've got a hold of very, very high line here. And all of these forces will have to be pushed back into a reserve here. My goodness me, that was a foolish mistake on my part to try and draw in those forces here. If we can do this, it will be an absolute boon. Then we'll take the city, we can rebuild and replenish and hopefully get ourselves back onto an even keel. Right, let's begin, my friends. I don't think we've got anything else left outside. No, we haven't. Right, let's begin. Right, they're all the way over here, so what we are going to do is move these gentlemen out to this flank here. We've got to do as much damage as we can here. We are in trouble here. They've got so many forces available to them. put these gentlemen in the front lines here to hold against it, but still. You've got to do a lot of damage to these. They have taken some casualties here, but not a lot. These Hindu warriors, though, we've got to take care of these Hindu warriors. If they want to attack up this hill here, then we'll oblige, sir. Here they come, and also the mortars are coming out as well, which is fantastic to see. That's much more like it, sir. Firing, lads. We've got these gentlemen moving up here. What we might do is actually they're going to come all the way around here as well. We might move this regiment here right around to here just to cover this flank. That's more like it, lads. This is going to be a very tough fight here. They've been shattered. They've been shattered. That's rid of the mortars. The mortars are gone at least. got to shift our forces to where they're needed. This whole flank is going to collapse. General, no, get out of there, sir. All shattered. Well done, sir. Well done, gentlemen. Now we've got to switch them back to this flank here. We're just shuffling resources around here. That's more like it, gentlemen. That's more like it. My goodness me, what a fight this is. Worked an absolute treat. Hold the line, lads, hold the line. Got there, just those out, just 18 inches mortars there, just those mortars, that's all that's left. That must be the lead unit. Fire. Don't do more damage to ourselves here. What a fight this is here. You waver, you fiends. We've got to charge the cavalry in here now. And they've broken as well. Oh, guys, we've got to break these fiends. This fire support has been crucial. Coming back. They're broken. That's more like it, sir. That's it, lads. We've got to break them. Get stuck in there. We are on absolutely at the end of our tether here. Come on, break them, lads. city. They've broken. They've shattered. Yes, they've done it. Oh my goodness me, by the skin of our teeth. A heroic victory. Oh my goodness me, what a fight that was. By the absolute skin of our teeth there. We lost 403 men, that's all we got left. Wow. They've retaken it, but still. No, we're not going to do that. We're just going to let them come in here. Morocco. Look at Empire. Oh, now that's what we like to see. That's fine, we've lost that, but that's fine. Now they've moved in. Now would they be able to take that army out for us? At the same time, if we attack that, they would come in. And they would probably be able to aid us destroying this force here. Oh, they've got elephants in there as well. That's going to be a difficult. Now this force does have good complement here. We are replenishing here, almost at full strength here again. We do need household cavalry. Which you can put in here. We've actually got household cavalry and we'll make that a very powerful force there. Bay of Bengal, no, that's the first we've got there. The first, we've got another one here. I think we'll get another war galleon. 14,874 here. Trade is now fully open again, which is good to see. We must also make sure that we send these ships and keep that trade coming in here. I think we'll send them to West Africa. We have nothing else here, I don't believe, that we can send. Oh yes we do. Will these reach down here? They will. Let's send them to South Africa, or South America, the Brazilian. Here as well, we should have, yes indeed sir. East Africa, let's keep that trade coming in at all times. Of course we've got the Windward Islands here. We've also sieging here Britain, which I completely forgot about. So they'll either attack us this turn coming up now, or we will take the city. My goodness me, they've got a lot of cannon. That is scary. But we have a very good force here. Not much cavalry, which is possibly a problem there for us. But again, we do then control a good swathe here of the Caribbean. The Caribbean, should I say. With Britain taking Antigua from us, but I think we can probably wrestle this from them. They do have a number of cavalry units, a lot of cavalry, a lot of artillery. Which I'm going to be wary of here. Oh, excellent. -1 to morale. +2 command fighting in India, which is excellent. Actually, let's have a look how Britain are doing at the moment. Actually, they looks like they've got themselves... Yes, a powerful force there, but they don't have this army. Look at that army, that is a staggering army. They have hit... Well, actually Spain is hitting Le Havre here. I think he's just taken Gdansk. Have the Dutch just taken Gdansk? Is it possibly they've just taken Gdansk here, the Dutch? Sweden have got Denmark and Stockholm still. And Russia have got Serbia. But it looks like the Ottomans have managed to hold and stabilise here at the front, which is good to see. Are they at war with the Russians? Indeed they are. Oh my god, look at the technology they've got. That is incredible. If we get platoon firing, we'll offer them 2,000. That's fine. We shall make our own way in the world then. Oh, we've also got this ship here, which we almost forgot about. Well, let's send that. We need to keep all our trade fleets opening at all costs. I think we're sending to East Africa. That money has to come in at all times. 59,000 income from trade. And we're actually propping up the Ottoman Empire quite extensively here. But what a fight it's been down here. I think there's a chance we might be in trouble here in Calcutta.
Insediamento sotto assedio.
I think we might go for an auto-resolve here because we've got the backup of these gentlemen here as well. So I think we'll go for an auto-resolve here and see if we can take Calcutta.
Hurrah!
Yes!
Hurrah!
We've taken it, my friends. What an absolute boon that is. Let's get everything repaired and replenished here. We'll exempt it from tax just to bring it under control as quickly as possible. We definitely need to get this army here up and running. Or we can get guards here as well. Wow. And also here, let's get this replenished. Oh, they got Army Staff College here, that's why, so we can get guard units here. That is absolutely fantastic. Let's get all of these replenished and repaired here to really boost our income. These pleasure gardens will do a huge amount of work here in terms of bringing the populace under control. We've also got our staunch allies here, the Mughal Empire, with us, so should give us some form of protection. We've lost this here, Katak, but still I think we've got a good, it's a possibility we can actually push against. Once we've got our reinforcements here in the Calcutta, we can actually move against Katak again. But what a fight that was for Bengal, my goodness me. That was a close call. We can get guard units here. We can really make this army a very, very powerful force indeed. But my friends, I'm going to end this episode here. As you can see, we are facing another push here by the Mughals. But if we can rid ourselves of this, we can actually free ourselves up to possibly strike against Goa. I think they are moving, or have moved, a considerable force away from Bijapur to move down this way here. That is a formidable force. They would be difficult for them to take Arcot without a real losses there, but this seems to be the real focal point of any fighting, is Mysore. But my friends, we're going to end this episode here. Again, please keep your comments coming down below. They've been absolutely fantastic. They really, really have. Is it going to be Goa? Is it going to be Hyderabad? Or do we take Katak here? With this force, we are steadily building into quite the force. As you can see here, it's not too far off being a very strong force indeed. Actually, what we will do is we can have the company. Let's get this army completed here. So we'll have 2 additional horse here, and then we'll have 2 additional line infantry, and we should be at full strength, which is absolutely fantastic. Then what do we do with this army here? It's well under control. We've still got this here, unfortunately, but still, there are no food shortages, which is good to see. But if they attack us again, we can destroy this army. We can probably then move on and take Goa. Even Bijapur could be a target of ours then, but we've got to strip back their sort of their empire, what remains of it, bit by bit here. Now we've taken Calcutta. What a boon that is, my friends. Absolutely fantastic. And with this port here, the commercial port up and running, should bringing an additional, and then we can probably move and take Katak and completely bring all of the eastern and southern seaboards under our control, which is exactly what we want to do, because that will give us access to all of the trade along here, which is what we want. If we can take Katak as well, all the trade, all the dockyards will be under our control, and that is a massive income for us. It really, really is. But my friends, I'm going to end this episode here. Hope you've enjoyed it. Again, please keep your comments coming down below. They'll be absolutely fantastic. It really has been a wonder to read all your comments. Your proposals, your plans have really helped us innumerably. It really has. But my friends, hope you've enjoyed this, and please be safe whatever you're doing. But until next time, my friends, bye for now.